Hello, welcome back to Auto Pop Culture, and today we're going over the Netflix original that was first a Lifetime original, but now it's a Netflix original because they're picking it up for season 2, is You. The TV show, TV series You, based off a book called the same title with the following of Hidden Bodies. This is a really good season. The first season is amazing. The character's really good. The whole season is like, it completely keeps me guessing the whole time. Like every single moment that's happening, I'm just always just like, oh. And there's some predictable parts, and there's some parts where it kind of goes on for like an unnecessarily like length, but it's good. It's a really good suspense thriller. So I want to go over some of the characters. Some of the main characters are in it. So we have Beck, who is played by Elizabeth Lyle, which is, if you know her, she was Anna in Once Upon a Time, that played in that little Frozen little season. Then we have Joe, who's played by Penn Badgley, who was what was his name? He was in Gossip Girl. And then, Dan. And then Peach, who is Shy Mitchell, who I adore, who's lightly my straight woman's crush. Like, I think she's amazing. I think she looks fucking gorgeous. She was actually in Pretty Little Liars. And then we have Candace, who's Amber Childs, who's I thought she looked familiar. Maybe I've seen her in different things or in snippets of stuff, or maybe she was in the commercial of stuff. Because when I looked it up, she was like in Ray Donovan, and then she's in this and some other small stuff. But I don't remember seeing any of the things that she's in. So other than You, and I want to watch Ray Donovan. It's just it's on the list. Thanks to Grace and Frankie, it's on the list. And they have Benji, which is, I don't really know who the guy is. But yeah, there's him. But he's very short. But I want to get to those kind of people, or the main people, except for the side characters, which I'll get into. It's a lot to go down and get into, so let's just kind of jump in. And I have little like plot points in different places, and I'll say them, and I'll go into like detail exactly what they meant or anything. So in this story, we kind of start off with like Joe is the main character. He narrates the whole thing that's going on, and he's pretty much a complete stalker and is obsessed with Beck. And Beck is this is all taking place in New York, and Beck is this college person, or college student who is trying to make it in the world as a writer, and so like that. So they become a thing. And after Joe saves her from a subway train, they become more of a thing, but he steals her phone, and it's a lot of things that he does to get to her, as in like stealing her phone to find out what she does, and because she gets a new phone because of it, and then he finds out that she has a douchey boyfriend named Benji, so he cages him inside the downstairs of his library that he works at. There's like a basement where it has like a clear case for like the old books, so they would stay like a good condition. For some reason they get warm, or if they get any type of room temperature, it goes to shit, even though there's multiple times where the door's like left open the whole time, and we're just assuming that everything's still fine with the books. They don't mention that the books are ruined or anything. It's a weird plot hole that they make it seem like you have to have the door closed, you have to keep it blah blah blah, but yet there's some times where there's a long monologue or dialogue where the door's like wide open. So he gets to that part where he starts to get into her life, and they become boyfriend and girlfriend because she like really likes him. And during that time, like she has a best friend named Peach who's very manipulating, and we find out that she also has a thing for her. So it becomes a weird little like back and forth kind of thing. I actually thought that part was one of the best parts of the season, was when Peach was doing her tactics to get to win over Beck, while Joe was doing the same thing. And I actually was hoping, because we had a moment where we were in where Beck was narrating like two episodes, that we would have got a Peach narration. Oh my god, it would be so interesting to kind of get into her brain and see what makes her tick and what makes her crazy. Like, even though she kind of tells you exactly how she thinks, but it's just like, I want to know everything. Like, why does she feel like she needs to be in the closet due to the fact that this is like a 2019 thing? So it's just like, you don't have to be in the closet anymore, especially living in New York in a very liberal area. You know, I get the money. One thing that they did point out is the fact that she was rich. Her parents were rich, and so it's just like she couldn't really come out to them, or so they'll stop kind of stop giving her money, or you know, like they might cut her off or something. So I think that's why she was in a closet. But it was interesting. It's very interesting to kind of see her in it, and she's fucking gorgeous, and they kind of go head to head, try to like take down the other person, and it's just like very spy versus spy, but more like stalker versus stalker. And it's very interesting because then like she does things like to the point where she pretends that she does a fake suicide attempt to get Beck to come over, and then she even like tries to get involved with Beck one trip, taking her to her house, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do some DMA, and then they're gonna like, and they start like kind of making out and try to take advances onto Beck. Beck backs out. It's those type of things. So it's just like, it's insane. It's just, the stuff just climbs and climbs and climbs and climbs. And so another thing is that she, let me go back a little bit, is that Beck has like a snippet moment where she has like, let me back up. First of all, one thing I do like about the plots of each thing, the messages between everything, is that everybody has a dark side. Like, everybody has a dark side. Everybody has mistakes. Everybody has things in their closet that they have. So just like with Beck, she is not afraid to kind of like take advantage of things, you know, that she thinks she can get kind of ahead, and it's not obviously in your face with it, but you can tell she's definitely has some type of ambition in that type of direction. And they have Peach, who thinks that, like, everything falls in her lap, so she demands everything be the way that she is. She's very controlling. You have Joe, like, but Peach is also a good friend. Like, the things that she does, she still cares for her in some way, so she's still kind of a good friend to her, to Beck. And then you have Joe, who's like super, super smart, and has like very concerned with books and everything, and helps out his neighbor Paco, like the neighbor's kid Paco, who's in the middle of a abusive relationship with his mom's husband, or mom's boyfriend, and stuff like that. So like, it really shows that everybody has their own, like, has their good and bad. And I love that there wasn't really a direct bad person other than Joe. Like, once he starts doing stuff, you kind of like lawfully gotta pay for all of this, but like it's pretty interesting how it goes in that direction. Another thing is that, so everything happens, everything goes down. The Peach thing goes down to where she's doing a MDMA, and then she, like, the next day, Beck's like, what the fuck? Like, you're trying to make out with me. What was that about? Like, I think you're obsessed with me. That's something that Joe said to me. And so Peach goes off on her, and that kind of looks like it ends the friendship between them. Come to find out that Joe has been inside that house the whole time, that vacation house, the whole time, just spying on them. Pees in a cup, puts it in a jar, and puts it on the table, so that leaves it there. And Peach finds out about Joe being there, like, pretty much tries to get ready to shoot him, but they kind of fight over, and it ends up Peach being, like, dying, and then, but Joe and Beck are still together, but things are going bad, and, like, all this stuff goes down. Like, they go to counseling, like, individually go to, like, a therapist who has this, go to the same therapist, and, he was actually played by, Jesse from Full House. Oh, I forgot his name. Anyway, he played by him, and he looks fucking gorgeous. He has a beard. He has an intense beard, and he just he's. Didn't think that he can get sexier than he already did. I thought he honestly hit a limit of the sexiness. Like, he was just like, you're sexy. That's it. Like, that's how high you're probably gonna go. Like, not in a bad way, but it was like good enough. And then he can get sexier with a fucking beard, and I was like, shit. So yeah, so then like they go with that and ends up them breaking up because Joe gets very suspicious and all stuff like that. So it's very interesting to see how it goes, and it kind of goes down to the end where like they get together, but then they break up, and then he starts involving himself with the best friend of the mom, the best friend of the mom's, the neighbors, blah 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 blah. Let me think about this. So he gets involved after the breakup. 3 months later, he gets involved with with Paco's mom's best friend Karen, and they become a thing. But then he starts cheating on her with Beck because Beck wants him back because she realizes how well that she has had it with Joe, and that type of like how much he does anything for her, not knowing that everything he does for her is a little bit crazy. So, she finds that out in the end, and she gets murdered and everything, and he pretty much puts the blame onto the doctor, the therapist, because after he finds out that she is that she's been having an affair with him. So it's a lot of fuckery, but the whole thing lines out so perfectly. Like I don't even think I'm doing it justice, but it's just so good, and the whole thing is really good. Like I love the idea that the narration goes on, so you kind of know you don't know what he's talking about. Like he's not telling anybody else what's going on, but you kind of hear what's going on in his head when he thinks about other things. And so yeah, so we ended up with him kind of like placing the murder of Beck onto the therapist, and then due to the second book, the plan is to go loosely off of the second book called Hidden Bodies. I have no idea what's going to happen, other than the fact that he moves to LA and starts kind of starting off new. So it's a really interesting type of like series. I definitely suggest getting to it. I'm glad that Netflix picked it up because I definitely think they're gonna have more leeway to do stuff with the second season, because I feel like the first season had Lifetime kind of like stank on it, I like Lifetime, but I feel like Lifetime doesn't really go has a limited place you kind of can go with their movies and shows, whereas like Netflix has no limits. They can literally have like 6 murders or whatever, or have him like do stuff, and it's not a big deal because it's Netflix. So that is it. We have the first season of this show, and I completely give it like 9 out of 10 because it's a really, really good show. I definitely suggest getting to it. I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with the second season now that they have a green light to do second season. So leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought. If you like the show, if you didn't like the show, why did you like it? What are you excited about? Are you going to see more? Are you excited to see more of what Joe has to offer? And there's been speculation around the part that Beck may be alive still, but I don't think so. Due to the book that she actually dies in the book, that we're assuming that they stick with that, because it'll be kind of a messy after we find out that Joe's ex-girlfriend that he was obsessed with a long time ago that we thought was dead, it actually isn't dead, and pops up at the very, very end of the show to confront Joe. And it's interesting. I don't know, that wasn't in the book, by the way, too. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Candace, if they're going to actually get together, and then later on, like, they move to, like, LA together and stuff like that. Very interested to see what's going to happen. But yeah, so that is my review on You, Netflix Original, Season 1. So, that's it. So, I hope everybody has a great Thursday. It's one more day, and it's going to be Friday. And, yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next video.